It was a blistering July afternoon in Oak Ridge, a sleepy suburb where wealth and privilege often cast long shadows. I'm James Carter, Chief of Police for the Oak Ridge PD, with 23 years under my belt. I thought I'd seen it all: drug busts, gang disputes, you name it. But nothing prepared me for what happened during a routine stop at Sullivan's Liquor Mart on Pine Avenue. What started as a simple errand to buy a bottle of Merlot for my anniversary dinner with my wife, Laura, spiraled into the most explosive case of my career, exposing a web of entitlement, racism, and corruption that would shake our town to its core. I was off duty, dressed in a tailored gray suit Laura had picked out, browsing the wine aisle when I heard a sharp, entitled voice cut through the hum of the store. "Hey, you guy in the suit." I turned to see a kid, maybe 19, with slick blonde hair, a designer polo, and jeans that screamed trust fund. He was flanked by two girls, one with dark hair and a crop top, the other a blonde in a sundress that looked like it cost more than my monthly mortgage. The kid, let's call him Ethan, pointed at me with a smirk. "Yeah, you black guy. Buy us some beer. We'll pay you back, obviously." The girls giggled, and the store's owner, Mike Sullivan, a gruff Irishman who knew me well, froze behind the counter. The audacity hit me like a freight train. Ethan's tone dripped with privilege, as if I should be honored to break the law for him. "Excuse me," I said, keeping my voice steady despite the anger simmering inside. Ethan rolled his eyes. "Look, we know you need the cash. Grab us some Bud Light, maybe some vodka for the ladies. It's for a pool party. My friends think it'd be hilarious if we got the help to hook us up." The help. I'd heard worse in my career, but the casual racism, delivered with such smug confidence, stung. The girl sluts, call them Ava and Chloe, chimed in, offering a generous $20 tip and hints that their daddies could get me real work. I could have flashed my badge and ended it right there. But something stopped me. These kids, products of wealth and poor parenting, needed a lesson they'd never forget. I played along, asking their names. Ethan proudly declared himself Ethan Wentworth, son of Charles Wentworth, a real estate tycoon. Ava was Ava Thornton, daughter of Dr. Henry Thornton, a local surgeon. Chloe, the youngest, was Chloe Hargrove, whose father owned Hargrove Construction. They bragged about their family's influence: judges, councilmen, even the mayor. I nodded, pretending to take notes, while mentally cataloging their admissions of attempted underage alcohol purchase. They handed me a list: 2 cases of Bud Light, a bottle of Tito's vodka, wine coolers, and champagne over $300 worth. They wanted it delivered to Ethan's mansion on Crestview Lane by 7 p.m. for a massive party. "Money's no object," Ava said, waving a manicured hand. Ethan tossed me a $100 bill as a tip, warning that crossing a Wentworth would be a mistake. "My family knows everyone: cops, judges, you name it," he sneered. I pocketed the cash, promising delivery, and watched them strut out, thinking they'd won. Back at the station, I dug into their backgrounds. Ethan's social media was a goldmine of photos of him chugging beers at parties, posts boasting about his family's wealth. Ava had 2 citations for underage drinking, both mysteriously dropped after her father's phone calls. Chloe, only 17, party with college kids, her Snapchat filled with incriminating videos. Their families weren't clean either. Charles Wentworth was linked to money laundering probes, Henry Thornton to insurance fraud, and Jack Hargrove to labor violations. The apple didn't fall far from the tree. I called my old partner, Detective Sarah Mendoza, who specialized in juvenile cases. "You're telling me 3 rich kids tried to recruit the police chief to buy them booze?" She laughed. "And they gave you their real names?" I laid out my plan: deliver fake alcohol, non-alcoholic beer, and sparkling cider, record their crimes, and bust their party. Sarah coordinated patrol units, and I secured search warrants from Judge Evelyn Harper, known for her no-nonsense stance on privileged offenders. By 6 p.m., Operation Hard Lesson was ready. At 7 p.m., I pulled into the Wentworth Mansion's driveway, a gaudy colonial with marble columns and a chandelier visible through the windows. Cars lined the street, and music blasted from the backyard. Ethan, Ava, and Chloe greeted me like a hero, oblivious to the trap. "You're a lifesaver," Ava gushed. I set down the bags, noting the red Solo cups and drunken teens stumbling around. They'd already sourced alcohol elsewhere, and the smell of weed hung in the air. "You seem pretty confident this won't get you in trouble," I said, fishing for more. Ethan grinned. "My dad owns half the city council. Ava's dad golfs with Judge Larson. We're untouchable." Ava bragged about a DUI that disappeared, and Chloe admitted to a shoplifting charge her father had erased. Then Ethan dropped a bombshell. My dad plays poker with Chief Carter. He's practically family. I nearly laughed. Charles Wentworth had never met me, but Ethan's delusion was gold. At 7:30, I pulled my badge. There's been a misunderstanding, I said, watching their faces collapse. I'm Chief James Carter, Oak Ridge PD. You've just committed multiple felonies. Their panic was instant. Ethan stammered, "You're just some guy from Sullivan's." Ava whispered, "This is a joke, right?" Chloe backed away, muttering, "We're so screwed." My radio crackled. "Chief, we're in position." Seconds later, Sarah's voice boomed through a megaphone. "Oak Ridge PD. This is a lawful search." The party erupted into chaos, teens fleeing, cups flying, music cut. My team rounded up 47 minors, seizing alcohol, cocaine, and weed. Ethan tried flushing drugs down a toilet, earning a possession charge. Ava and Chloe sobbed as officers zip-tied their wrists. "My dad will destroy you," Ethan snarled. I smiled. "Tell him I said hi when you get your phone call." At the station, their interviews were a masterclass in entitlement. Ethan lawyered up, Ava's father threatened lawsuits, and Jack Hargrove got himself arrested for drunkenly interfering. Their phones and social media sealed their fate. Text planning alcohol buys, videos of past parties, even Ethan's recording of our liquor store encounter, meant for TikTok to mock me. It was now evidence. But the fight wasn't over. 3 days later, I was summoned to a meeting with Mayor Thompson, City Attorney Hayes, and Councilman Pierce, a Wentworth donor. They hinted at dropping charges to avoid economic fallout. Wentworth's real estate, Thornton's medical center, and Hargrove's construction were big players. I refused. "Justice isn't for sale," I said, walking out. Then came the smear campaign. A viral video, Chief Carter's racist vendetta, racked up 2 million views, painting me as a corrupt cop targeting innocent teens. Ethan, in a tailored suit, played the victim, claiming I'd entrapped them. Anonymous texts threatened worse if I didn't drop the case. The FBI traced the video to a law firm tied to Wentworth, exposing fabricated quotes and paid actors. It was obstruction of justice. The turning point came when Ethan's mother, Margaret Wentworth, walked into the station, broken and tearful. She handed me a flash drive. "This is everything, recordings of my husband and son planning to destroy you." She'd raised a monster, she said, and wanted Ethan to face consequences. The drive was dynamite. Charles plotting bribes, Ethan coaching witnesses, payments to fake news sites. Federal agents raided the Wentworth estate and the law firm, dismantling a corruption network. 6 months later, Judge Harper sentenced Ethan to 4 years in prison, Ava to 3, and Chloe to 2, with millions in restitution. Charles got 12 years for racketeering. Councilman, a judge, and the mayor fell in the fallout. Oak Ridge was cleaner for it, with seized assets funding schools. That night, Laura and I dined at the city's finest restaurant, toasting with the Merlot I'd never gotten to buy. "You showed them justice isn't for sale," she said. Ethan, Ava, and Chloe had underestimated me, blinded by racism and arrogance. Their downfall was their own doina lesson in consequences they'd carry forever. What do you think about this story? Should wealth shield people from justice? Have you seen entitlement or corruption in your own community? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Want to hear your stance on privilege and accountability.